Tier 1 wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. 2 years later, Tier 1 Wrestling's second anniversary show was very well done, and I really enjoyed it, and was done at St. Finn Bars from Brooklyn, New York. The night begins with a pre-show match as we saw Buster Jackson win a triple threat match over Easy Lover Billy Collins and his opponent whose name I did not get, and I apologize for that. Then with the main show, Wrestling's richest prize, Darius Carter, hits the ring and talks about he's deserving of being Tier 1 champion. Eventually he's interrupted by General Manager, or is it Commissioner, Christopher Beckett, comes out and he tells Beckett tells Carter he has a match with the King of Bros, Matthew Riddle, with no disqualification. The action gets underway of the main show as we see AJ Specter and Bear Bronson defeat Team España, Jose and Hose B, to retain the 5-Borough Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Next we had a triple threat match where the Bad Apple Matt McIntosh defeated the Shred God Brandon Watts and Chris Payne. And by virtue of the victory, the Bad Apple Matt McIntosh now will be seen on a regular basis in Tier 1 wrestling. Up next, we saw the unpredictable Jay George come out, and he's basically decided it was time for some Tier 1 karaoke as he comes to the ring singing Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. And Jay George was on the microphone, and I forgot what he ended up saying, but he ends up having a match with the Dagger Mick Drake, who was accompanied by Allie Rex. And during the matchup, Federated, Mr. Martinez, Mike Orlando, and Nick Camarado come out, and they go after, and Mick Drake ends up taking advantage of the situation, and the Dagger Mick Drake defeats the unpredictable Jay George, and then Mr. Martinez hands Mick Drake and Allie Rex Federated t-shirts, and they put them on, and they are now part of the Federated group. Up next, we saw the debuting Bone Crusher, Dominic Garrini, take on Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Garrini had made Friedman tap out so quickly, and Friedman claimed he wasn't ready, and he said, hey, let's go at it again, and they go at it again, and Friedman ends up defeating Garrini. And then Garrini challenged Friedman to a 2 out of 3 falls, but Maxwell decided not to go back in the ring and not give anybody what they wanted. Okay, from there, a very good matchup. We saw the Croatian sensation Mario Bokara defeat Kyle the Beast. And then in another singles matchup, Sonny Kiss defeated John Silver. After the match, Colossal Mike Law hits the ring, attacks Sonny, and he's claiming, that he's been with Tier 1 almost from the beginning, and he gets stuck sitting on the sidelines because of others. And Mike Law, I forgot what he offered, a handshake to John Silver, and Silver ended up attacking Law, throwing him from the ring, and Silver helped Sonny Kiss from the ring. It was at that point they did go to intermission. The action resumed with Federated's Mike Orlando and Nick Camarado, accompanied by Mr. Martinez, the Dagger Mick Drake, and Allie Rex as they challenged the Devil's Outlaw Stockade and Pro Wrestling Maniac Joe Gacy for the Tag Team Championship, in which Stockade and Gacy won on disqualification when Mick Drake interfered, and as a result, Stockade and Gacy retained the Tag Team Championship. Stockade takes the microphone and tells Federated that, next time Tier 1 Wrestling's in Brooklyn, the Father Matt Tremont will be with them. And Stockade tells them, because that Stockade sees they have the tag belts in their possession, Stockade tells them, you guys better get to the back before we catch up with you. And Stockade eventually hits Camarado in the back with a chair before they all skedaddle through the curtain. Up next, we have a pair of debuts, unless I'm mistaken, as Kid Christian defeated the Human Rocket, Leon St. Giovanni. And then we saw the Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson defeating the debuting Filthy Tom Lawler, who was, I think, a UFC fighter, or still is a UFC fighter. And then the main event of the evening, we saw the King of Bros, Matthew Riddle, go one-on-one with the Wrestling Riches Prize, Darius Carter, and I believe this was a number one contenders match. It was a no DQ match, and we saw eventually, I think somebody bumped into the referee, and Carter eventually won the match, defeating Matthew Riddle and becoming number one contender to the Tier 1 Wrestling Championship despite having possession of the belt. Well, it's personal notes time. It was great seeing Melissa, Nicole, Mike McNicholas, Peter Gilmore, Jeff, Stella, Hyro, Bill Parham, Eric Cooper, who I had not seen in months at a show. Great to have that Shane Fair got to ring announce the show, and glad to see he took part in the crew picture after the event ended. And again, Shane, I hope you do get to ring announce for Tier 1 again, or maybe another promotion out there. I hope at future Tier 1 wrestling match events we could have some, maybe at least one women's match on the show, since Ali Rex is now pretty much a regular as a member of the Federated brand. I don't know if the building really was air conditioned, because it kind of got a little hot in there. Of course, it wasn't as hot as that building that Brooklyn Remastered ran in last month. Now, one thing I want to address, and this buffoon is not going to get any fame out of me for this one. Throughout the show, this guy was so damn annoying, and those who know me, they know who I'm referring to. You know, this guy was just, saying that the referees don't know how to count, and this guy has refereed in the past at wrestling shows. And the stupid part is, a freakazoid in the front row, who was also not getting any fame out of me, she was chanting that the guy sucks. This doofus I'm referring to that was in the crowd. And hell, the guy basically got owned before before the fans got even in the building. And this dick of a person, he tried to shake my hand before I took my leave. I mean, come on, this guy just rubs everybody the wrong way, not literally, but quite frankly, this guy's. But should just stay in the crowd, and hopefully he'll stay in the crowd, because I know a few wrestling promotions have already shown him the door. And basically this guy just certainly don't belong in the damn business. Well, Tier 1 Wrestling presents British Revolution on Sunday, August 13th. I forgot the name of the building, and it's over but I know it's in Queens. Appearing that night, at that show, Man of Steel Mike Verna, the official Tier 1 Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Wrestling's Richest Prize, Darius Carter. I know he's wrestling Travis Flip Gordon. Alan Lee Travis is appearing. I forget who else they have on this very show. And I want to say, Tier 1 Wrestling, Dennis Long, please don't run on Sundays when football returns, because I ended up missing that show where Darius Carter won the belt late last year from Sonny Kiss. Well, let's see. Man, what else can I say here? It hasn't already been said. Well, the show did run late, and you know the show ended like between 11:30 and midnight. I sure hope. I mean, I know a lot of independent promotions out there are not very prompt about opening the door and starting on time. But let's face it, this is not going to be acceptable to not every fan out there is going to accept this. And who knows who else won't accept this. So, yeah, that should pretty much do it from here. And definitely enjoyed 2 years later.